The secrets of reality creation really are all around you. They are hidden in plain sight, but it is a matter of your awareness of them. Thank you for tuning in to today's transmission of the Ministry of Assumption Absolute, brought to you by and courtesy of the Electric Temple, remembering to live in the power of the love of your desire, identity, alchemy, self-sovereignty, elevating consciousness every single moment is what we do here. Now think about it this way. You are a manifestation. Nobody needs to teach you to manifest. Now, what these videos can help with, the various books, all the content out there, when we talk about, the secrets here, we're talking about how to direct your attention and Luke 17:20 to live the power of the kingdom within, to, as Neville Goddard would talk about, to live and dwell in the realm of the imagination, because that is the creation space, to program and tune yourself to that which you desire, because it's all happening right now. Creation is finished. There's nothing happening outside of you. However, like a radio, and I used to do radio, so I'm really into that analogy, you have to tune yourself to a specific frequency. You have to be of a certain state. So we're always unpacking, well, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean on a practical level? Well, look at your manifestation. Now, I don't believe that everybody that's born is connected to, and this is just a cosmological belief, like I know I was not a part of my family, and that's just self-gnosis. I know that I incarnated in to have a bullshit experience so I can learn some lessons, whereas like my sibling growing up, she was like, I feel like I've been a part of this family for millennia, whereas I was like, I don't know these people. These are a bunch of strangers. They're on some bullshit. I hate this. I don't like them. At least, at that point in time, now, you make peace and you move on. But my point being that think about how a person is made. It is the unity. It is the synthesis of the fluid and the DNA and the stuff and the isness of person one and the stuff and the isness of person two, expressed in male and female genitalia and body parts, and that then makes a new being. Okay, well, if you have two people of one ethnicity or two people of two different ethnicities, you're not going to get a random fifth ethnicity that had nothing to do with those two people's genome that creates the substance of that child. So what am I talking about? What do I mean here? What does this mean? Okay, if we are looking at, what are you impregnating your world with? You are the seed. You are the substance of everything. You're blowing loads all over your reality with the state of your consciousness, how you see yourself, what you're certain of, what you agree to, what your attention is on, and what you agree to. If you get nothing else out of this, this is a short one, and this is a power message. Disregard this up here because I was going to film that, and I'm going to film that. That's going to be, for tomorrow's message. But I had to get this one out first, because I was like, gosh, it's so obvious. I mean, look at how a person comes about. You have to have a seed and you have to have a womb. You have to have an impregnation. You have to have like a surge of DNA shoot into a womb space and impregnate an egg. Well, the egg is the world. And while that egg then is gestating, the two people then are not like, when's the baby going to come? Now, not unfortunately, but we do have the certainty of okay, yes, there's 9 months there, and certainty can be your enemy in manifestation, because if you're depending on certainty, you're probably trying to figure out the how, and you're attached, you're living in fear, you're trying to work out every single little piece and creating limits for yourself, because again, everything is happening at this point in time. And if we're talking about certainty, we're talking about memory. And if we're talking about memory, we're talking about your perception, not even what actually happened, but your perception of what happened in the past. Thought has to happen in a future past context. So if we're talking about a future past context, we're talking about that which is known. Well, we don't, if you're manifesting a new reality, we don't want more of what's known. So you trying to use the past to figure out how the future is going to come about, you're just spinning yourself in circles and probably creating more of the past or staying stuck in place. So we do have the knowledge that it does take about 9 months for a human baby, to come about in the world. But what is the state of your seed. And when I talk about the state of the seed, you are the seed. So what is the state of yourself? That is what you're seeing, gestate in the womb space of the world that will eventually, when I say eventually, because everything's happening now, it's not about time. When you are the state of self, when you are fine. If we go to the Bible and we talk about that faith of mustard seed, it's not about having like a little bit of faith that like big things can happen, as I was taught, in Christian indoctrination. No, it's about the fact that like a mustard seed is a mustard seed. We're not going to get a peach tree out of a mustard seed because the mustard seed knows what it is. It takes just one single mustard seed that is certain of what it is, because it can't be anything else, to know that once it's planted, it will grow. So, I mean, view your life as this like continual, this beautiful unfolding, this birth of sorts. You will always see born into your world. You will see born into your world that which you are the seed of. So if you're a mustard seed, you're gonna see, or if you plant it, you're gonna see mustard seed. So what does that look like on a practical basis? If we are talking about, and I've lived this, if you're depressed all the time, if you're down, if you're in negative anticipation, if you're always trying to figure out how things are going to come about, because again, you're fixated on that certainty, if you're always worried about how, if you're always worried, if you're paying attention to the news, if you got other people's ideas in your ear about like how it's not going to work out, or what you should think about yourself, or what you're allowed to believe based on the past, like all of that is distortion to your seed. And then what you're going to see in the world is that distortion, is that fragmentation, is that sense of uncertainty. And probably things are going to, and I know this is why I'm talking to you. I'm trying to save you years of dealing with nonsense and despair and worry and all the stuff that you're creating it. Like you are the seed. So whatever you see in your world, now once you see it, it's all right. I talk about this all the time. The meal's already cooked. It's already done. We're not negotiating with 3D reality. We're assuming a new state. If you don't like what you see, we're just assuming a new state where that 3D reality is not the case. We're not then going to like negotiate like with that. We're not going to negotiate like, how do I get out of debt? We're going to talk, like assume a state talking about the fact that like the debt was never there. We're not assuming a state where we're climbing out of something, where I'm climbing out of a disease. We're affirming a state where health is always the norm. Health is the only thing happening, in my life. We're not recovering from a breakup. We're becoming love within. So we're not fighting against a meal that's already cooked. Like it's here, it's there, like eat it or don't eat it. You don't have to do anything with it. It's there. It's in the material. It has already come out of the oven, fine. Baby's already born. We don't, that's maybe, that analogy doesn't work there. You can't like chuck a baby. You shouldn't, at least. Don't do that. But looking at like, what are you impregnating? Think about, your thoughts, and it's not just your thoughts, but I'm saying your whole state of stuff. Your thoughts are a product of your state of self. They're not the creation space, but they are evidence of that which you are creating within. What are you impregnating your world with? Whatever you're certain of is whatever you're going to see. Whatever you believe, not believe, but whatever you know to be the case. If you have low self-esteem, and I know this having worked in the field of mental wellness in a variety of capacities for 7 years, coming up on 7 years at least, like 6.75 years. When somebody's got low self-esteem, they got evidence, they got freaking receipts, they got a whole book, they got a Bible of like why they're a piece of shit. So you just create that same sense of certainty in the other direction, and you can't do it with evidence, because the problem is that, these people have evidence. They believe that they have evidence. They believe that like, okay, well, because of this thing and that thing and the other, and in third grade, and then when my mom put me down, and then when my dad kicked me out, and like all this other stuff, and then I got left, and, then I dropped out of school, and like they have like all of this like belief of evidence that substantiates their knowing that like, I'm a terrible fucking person. So you then you define what your new I am is, and you assign that to yourself, and then you live with, and we're only talking about, you're an individual expression of God. So we're only ever talking about that. We're only talking about peace, love, joy, contentedness, calm, worthiness, abundance, clarity, beauty. But package that all really under unconditional love, because that's what God is. This whole world is love. The whole act of creation is like, we get so fixated on like, I want to manifest a specific thing. Why do you want to manifest that specific thing? Because it's going to give you a greater experience of love within. So you be that love. You just decide, like you just impregnate your world with that love by being the seed of it. You are the penetration point of the womb of the world. I like that. You are the penetration point of the womb of the world. This is maybe a more verbose message. I mean, I am an erotic vitalist, so I don't mind these topics because, again, the secrets of reality creation. Well, how do we create a person? We need a seed, and we need an impregnation point, and then we need a gestation period. Like, that's how you make a baby. So, like, that's all that's ever happening here. But then we're worried about, like 2 months in, like, where's the baby? Where's the baby? Where's the baby? And it's not about time because it's all happening now. You just know that, like, okay, the life is there. Now, look, I don't want to get into politics about that because I don't even have, like, that's not what I mean. That's not, like, think what you want to think about how long it takes for a life to be a life. That's not my point. Okay. But be the seed. What are you a seed of? And you'll see the state of yourself, at least previous state of self. Because again, meal's already cooked when it's out there. You don't have to negotiate with that. You don't have to do anything of it. If you like it, affirm it. If you don't have to do it. It's just there. It's just showing you. It's just reflecting you back to you, your previous state. So what are you the seed of? Impregnate the womb of this world. There is a million things happening. All the parallel realities are happening at once. What are you tuned to? What seed are you? And what are you shooting out by way of your vibration? Based on the frequency of the attention of what you're focused on. Are you focused on lack? Are you focused on abundance? Are you focused on why you're not good enough? Are you focused on why you got left? Are you focused on the past? I mean, most people are focused on a past that they don't want and a future they feel powerless to. So, and that's what they're impregnating. They're like that's the loads that they're blowing every single time that they tune in to, more fear-based internal fantasy dramas about how things are never going to get better. And again, I speak for no sense of superiority. Learn from me. Learn from my catastrophes. Because after creating all those catastrophes and just really being at the bottom of all the different solutions I could make and all the different excuses that I could make and all the different solutions I could think of, I realized it's me. It's all me. Yeshua said it's all you. It's all you. It's all you. You are looking at your seed, impregnating your world around you, and that's what you're perceiving. Signing off of the ministry of Assumption Absolute, brought to you by and courtesy of the Electric Temple. My name is Lucian St. James. I am your self-sovereignty mentor. Remember to be good to yourselves and others, because everybody's just a version of you anyway. Until next time.